Welcome to episode 1 of Stupidest Assholes on the Internet, where we take a look at comments from some of the stupidest assholes on the Internet. In order for you or your comment to qualify to be featured on Stupidest Assholes of the Internet, you have to be one big giant stupid asshole on the Internet. Why is this a thing? Because if I have to suffer while browsing the Internet because you're a stupid asshole, the rest of the world is going to suffer as well. Let's get started with comment number 1. Just like myself and the people we will be featuring on each episode, you are on the Internet and you're a person, so you're probably a stupid asshole. For that reason, even though I'm sure you can read, I will summarize. An individual has $120,000 in debt from an undergraduate degree, and out of the $60,000 they've paid during that time period, only $2,000 has gone towards the actual loan. This individual asks, how the fuck was this ever legal? Shut up, I'm reading, you stupid asshole. Now, I'm not going to completely give this a pass. After all, how the fuck did you take out $120,000 in student debt? You most likely went to a private school and unfortunately never did your research into how much student debt you can accrue. So there were some poor decisions made by this individual. However, as we go through the next set of comments, you'll understand why that criticism is very context sensitive. The concept of student debt has become political, which means that a large percentage of the population has incorporated being against student loan debt as part of their personality. Correction. I said student loan debt, I meant student loan debt forgiveness. I am a stupid asshole. I would advertise my channel and tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and all that shit. I would tell you to check out my other videos, but I'm too stupid of an asshole. Let's continue. In order to fortify their stance on never forgiving student debt, they have to thus pretend that student loan debt is perfectly fine and the system that we have in place has no flaws whatsoever that need correcting. What the first post is doing is pointing out some of those flaws. So what this person is going to do is counter that by completely dismissing even the remotest possibility that there are any flaws in the student debt system, and instead respond as if all of the responsibility is on the individual in post number 1. We start off, why wouldn't it be legal? Right off the bat, what a stupid asshole thing to say. Let me give you 2 examples. Imagine you're a company. You grow really large. You want to buy out one of your competitors. You do so. Sounds perfectly legal, right? Well, in the world of gaming, Activision Blizzard, one of the largest video game companies, has been looking to merge with Microsoft or be bought out by Microsoft for quite some time. Yet this has been blocked repeatedly by several governments. That is because people with an ounce of intelligence realize that certain economic situations are extremely disadvantageous for the economy. For example, if a company grows so big that it essentially is the entire industry, then what happens is they can control the entire industry, exorbitantly price things well beyond what they should be priced, and the more essential that product is, the more likely this is to have devastating consequences for the economy at large. As a result, governments put in laws against forming what are called monopolies. The idea of buying out a competitor is fine. The issue comes in when you think of the broader implications. Now, let me ask what happens to an economy if nearly everybody was wrapped up in paying $60,000 only to pay off $2,000 worth of debt. All of that money that could go into the economy is instead being thrown away on student loan companies. The whole idea of education is to churn out intelligent, productive workers that can contribute further to the economy, not only as consumers, but also as workers. If you go too far in disincentivizing people from doing this, it could have drastically negative effects on the economy over a long period of time. It also increases the likelihood of reinforcing cycles of poverty, as individuals who are already poor and can't afford these exorbitantly priced colleges simply won't go. Then they'll stay on welfare, and people like this stupid asshole will complain anyway. Remember, the issue is not being against student loan debt forgiveness. It's responding as if there are no flaws in the system whatsoever that can be adjusted, the way this stupid asshole does. The reason why all this might be made illegal, or at least changed in some capacity, would be, like with the other examples I brought up, to protect our economic interests. As for the next part of his post, they're probably going to a private university, not a state school. This person made a dumb choice, and no regret it. That is 100% on them. I think he means now, but he's a stupid asshole. The thing about stupid assholes, they're often careless in their argumentation, and sometimes that may show up as typos. Notice how this individual has no idea what the first person actually went to school for. Perhaps going to a private university carried a certain amount of status that would help them get a job in their industry of choice. Perhaps something went horribly wrong during their time as a student, and because of that, they ended up not being able to graduate on time. Perhaps something went wrong with the industry that they were trying to get into right when they were about to finally graduate, thus decreasing the jobs that they could possibly get and leaving them totally screwed. There are so many gaps in our knowledge when it comes to person number one's situation, but this stupid asshole has no problem speaking as if they are in a position of authority and knowledge. This is something that is very common amongst stupid assholes. A good reason for this is because ego is one of the primary motivators for a stupid asshole. Like we said earlier, this issue has been politicized, so people have made this issue a part of their personality, and they cannot stand to have any aspect of themselves questioned. So their ego allows themselves to put up a wall of stupid assholatry, and any logic or reason falls into that hole and disappears forever. What comes out is pure sludge, the word equivalent of diarrhea. This was my personal favorite. That is 100% on them. 100% would indicate this individual's decisions were not influenced by anyone or anything else. As we just established, this stupid asshole is not speaking from a position of authority or knowledge. They have no idea what factors or influences may have led this person to go to school. However, we can make several very common sense assumptions. All of them would completely disprove the notion that the decision was 100% on the individual from post number 1. For example, socially, it has been widely accepted for decades that going to college is the number one way to get ahead in life. That if you would like to have a great, high-paying career and be financially stable, college is almost a mandatory step in that direction. People are starting to wake up to the fact that you do have to be careful with student loan debt, but there are still so many people who don't recognize the dangers because there is no class being taught in schools about the dangers of student loan debt. These are not mandatory required courses in most curriculums. Any stupid asshole would recognize that there is at least some fault with an education system that fails utterly and completely to prepare its students for the financial rigors that may come from going to college and picking the wrong degrees, or going to the wrong college that's way more expensive than they'll be able to afford. Someone who's not a stupid asshole would recognize the responsibility of an education system that simultaneously tells students they ought to go to college. Most high schools even promote who's going to what colleges at the end of every single year. The educational system that directly motivates students to go to college fails to educate them about the potential pitfalls. One more thing. Growing up in the 90s, it was still very common to hear the refrain, "Oh, that's the first person from our family to go to college. We're so proud." The family is not equipped to teach or warn the child, and as we just established, school systems do not do that either. They actually do the opposite. Therefore, there is a lot of blame to go around, socially, politically, and in the education system. This decision is not 100% on the individual who was 18 years old and probably had the financial literacy of a goldfish when they first decided to follow the advice of nearly everyone and go to college. That, more than anything, is why this asshole is the stupidest asshole that I found on the internet today. Their post is not done. They're free to go to whatever school they want to go to.
What are you, fucking stupid?
The role of government is not to protect people from making stupid decisions.
This one is just plain fucking stupid.
Some people are really fucking stupid. Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day?
I thought we had peaked in terms of what stupid asshole shit this stupid asshole could possibly say. Then they went and one-upped themselves. If understanding the topic you're talking about was a measure of competence, this individual's measure of competence would be in line with the Uvalde Police Department's. Apparently, they are not aware that you have to be accepted into a school that you want to go to. You are not free to go to whatever school you want to go to. And for someone talking about the dangers of student loans and how this person should have known better, they should understand the fact that you will qualify for certain things like scholarships depending on which school you choose to go to. This is not always the case, but it can be an influencing factor. For example, some schools like to incentivize people who stay close at home. In-state versus out-of-state tuition can be different. As for the last comment, this might be one of the stupidest asshole things I think I've ever seen anyone say ever. Had I been alive at the time my parents said let's have a child, that moment would certainly at least tie this one. I go out to a party. I get absolutely shit-faced to the point I am pissing myself as I am walking to my car. I say walking to my car, but really it's kind of a mixture of falling over, crawling, rolling, and sliding like a slug on the ground because my hand-eye coordination and motor skills have been reduced to that of an infant having a seizure. I somehow manage to climb into my car and wonder why it kind of looks different. I don't realize it at the time, but I grabbed the wrong car keys and kept pushing the button and followed the blinking lights to a car that wasn't even mine. Since God apparently wants to usher me to a violent and sudden death this evening, he ensures that I somehow find a way to get the keys in the ignition and turn. I am now driving on the road. I swerve over several curbs and objects. Something is wrong with the car. It's fighting me more than usual. And then I see a dozen blinking lights in the rearview mirror behind me. I stop. Not because I realize it's the cops, but because I think the lights look pretty and I'd like to get a closer look. Especially because I'm confused how these pretty lights are following me so closely and consistently. I stop the car, spill out of the driver's side door, almost get run over because I don't actually put the car in park. After a long and arduous interview, absolutely nothing happens to me and I'm free to go. Because the government is not supposed to protect people from making stupid decisions, no matter how dangerous they may be financially, physically, or mortally. While it's fun to dream up these scenarios of my abject stupidity, which I assure you are not as imagined as you'd like to believe, and the ankle bracelet that I'm wearing would attest to that, along with my long and storied criminal record. That aside, as much of a stupid asshole as I might be, I hope everyone listening understands what a stupid asshole this stupid asshole truly is. And for a special stupid asshole bonus, this sentence right here. You can never get out of most stupid decisions. I would love to know what this individual qualifies as a stupid decision. What does he mean by never getting out of it? Pencils have erasers. If you accidentally break something, you can buy another. If you piss someone off, a lot of times simply saying sorry, perhaps buying a gift or doing something nice will make up for whatever stupid decision led them to be mad at you in the first place. As someone who spends the vast majority of his life making stupid decisions every day, I can attest to the fact that almost none of them have lifetime consequences that I can never, ever get out of. This is a stupid asshole comment made by a stupid asshole who, again, because of his ego, cannot allow even the remotest possibility that one aspect of his political decision might be wrong in some aspect. As a result, he has decided to come on the internet and be one of the stupidest assholes imaginable. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Stupidest Assholes on the Internet. I'm too much of a stupid asshole to have a better ending than this. I would advertise my channel and tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and all that shit. I would tell you to check out my other videos, but I'm too stupid of an